John Reed was a German immigrant who settled in Cabarrus County, North Carolina in 1799. One day, Reed was presented with a large yellow stone that his son had found while playing around their property. Not understanding what he possessed, Reed decided to fashion the stone into a doorknob to decorate the front door of their home. It wasn't until a traveling trader from Fayetteville properly identified the stone as gold. After this, Reed was soon able to create a mine in the vicinity of the area in which his son had first discovered golden ore. As word spread of Reed's newfound fortune, many of his close neighbors began searching their own properties for untapped veins of precious metals. One neighbor, McIntosh, nicknamed Skinflint, due to his reputation for being miser in the street of his money, successfully located a huge deposit of precious metals, including gold. Skinflint hired miners, but barely paid them wages or spent any expenses that would make the mine safe as they were. After multiple accidents, injuries, and disappearances, Skinflint was abandoned by his workers who were having his high-pitched low. Desperate to get the work of the mine back on track, McIntosh propositioned the best miner in the county for assistance. This miner, Joe McGee, was the most sought-after miner during his day. It is said he could slip in and out of tight spaces and create openings that seemed impossible to do so with his pickaxe alone. Joe agreed to work for McIntosh for a fair wage and on the contingency that if he died while on the job, his wife Jenny would receive $2,000 in compensation. McIntosh reluctantly agreed, and work resumed inside of the mine. As the days passed, things seemed to be going in the right direction. Joe managed to find even more gold and was able to convince McIntosh to hire on some of Joe's friends who were also expert miners to further the work. Joe had a habit of not only working late, but also being the last one to leave, so it wasn't unusual for him to be gone most of the night. However, one evening, Joe failed to return home. Jenny sought out McIntosh in the late hours of the night, only to be turned away and later told that Joe had run off and left her to fend for herself. Convinced that something terrible had happened, Jenny sought help from Joe's friends and co-workers. Together they searched the mine but couldn't find any trace of Joe. Eventually they were all fired for confronting and accusing McIntosh of hiding the truth of Joe's whereabouts. A few nights later, at the miner's cabin, a thunderous knock sounded. Joe's closest friend, Sean, would answer the door. Before him was a translucent white apparition covered by a hood and cloak. It was hunched over and twisted as it stood before Sean and the rest of the miners. As it spoke, Sean immediately recognized the agonized voice of his friend Joe McGee. "Did McIntosh pay Jenny?" it rasped as if in pain. "No," Sean replied. "He said you had run off and left." The ghost wailed in frightful anger, screaming, "I'll haunt that mine of his forever." Joe asked Sean and his friends to follow him into the mine. He explained that during one of the new tunnels Joe had dug, McIntosh used cheap green timber to reinforce it. This led to a cave-in, killing Joe as he worked during the night he disappeared. The team discovered the body of Joe McGee and laid it before McIntosh, who begrudgingly paid the $2,000 he had agreed to give Jenny. Jenny, Sean, and the rest of Joe's mining companions gave a proper burial to their friend and headed westward away from the mine. McIntosh was never able to keep a crew working steady in the mine ever again. They all reported seeing a vicious specter haunting the tunnels, screaming and chasing anyone away who would come down to work. Legend has it that McIntosh went missing as he desperately attempted to continue mining himself. The location of the mine was lost sometime after that. It is said Joe's frightful cries can still be heard when anyone gets near it. Some have even reported hearing digging and seeing a twisted apparition wielding a pickaxe floating in and around the forest of the old mining region of Cabarrus County. Could this be Joe continuing his pledge to haunt the old McIntosh mine forever? And there you have it. That is the legend of the Specter of Skinflint mine. If you're from Cabarrus County or North Carolina in general, have you heard anything about this legend before? Comment below of any stories or anything you might have seen. I always love hearing everyone's stories and firsthand accounts of what they've witnessed or, what they think they've witnessed, because our eyes have all played tricks on us before. But yeah, please like and share and subscribe. And join me next time as we explore another mystery from the fog.